Okay, Michael, simple little pitch. Just get it up on the green. Oh man, I'm so tired of that. All right, come on. Let's get it out of the bunker this time. Again, chunky again. Are you tired of continually sticking your wedge in the ground and hitting chunky shots and digging deep, gouging divots? Well, then you need to stick around for this video, because I'm going to show you how to use the bounce of your wedge, and you won't hit those chunky shots anymore. So come on with me and let's go figure this out. So how is it that the really good players always hit those nice little crisp wedge shots? They're taking little small divots. There's a nice crisp sound to it. The ball comes out of there, it lands on the green, and it's got some spin. Well, it's because they've learned to use the bounce of their wedge to make it perform correctly. So let's start off with what is the bounce? Well, if you look at sand wedges, you're going to notice that the back edge is lower than the leading edge of the sole. There is an angle to this wedge. That is the bounce. That is what keeps the golf club from digging. We can't get the wedge coming into the ground leading edge first. That makes the wedge dig. You have to use the bounce of the club against the ground to make the club, well, theoretically bounce through the ground or slide through the ground or glide through the ground, however you want to look at it. But we've got to learn to use that bounce. So how do we do it? Well, let me show you a couple drills that I like people to do to get a really good sensation of what the bounce is. So let's go down into the practice bunker first. Okay, so I've got myself down in the practice bunker, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to just stand here and hit some little soft, easy shots. And I'm just feeling that bounce glide through the sand. Right now I'm actually doing this just right-handed only. I can put both hands on the club, feel the same thing. We don't want that leading edge digging into the sand. It would be nice if we had some sand here, but we don't want that leading edge digging down into the sand. I need the bounce to just splash or glide through the sand. Okay, let me show you some other little drill. Now here's another thing that you can do in order to start learning to feel that bounce. Find some place that's got some real hard pan, okay? And just make little swings and get the bottom of the golf club to hit into that hard pan. Look, it's a little muddy down there. Look where the mud stuck on that club. I'm not letting the leading edge get in to the dirt. I want the bounce to get into that dirt. And let this golf club just bounce right off of that hard pan. Do these drills without a ball, and you're gonna really start to get a sensation and a feel of what it feels like to use the bounce. You will definitely be able to tell if you get that leading edge down and you start to dig. There's a completely different feel of when you are using the bounce of the golf club. So what are the keys in the swing that are going to allow me to use the bounce? Well, first thing that we want to do is we want to let that club face open slightly. Let me get up here and show you this viewpoint, so it would be like you looking down the golf club. There would be a square club face. I just want that toe to hang open just a little bit, okay? Now, when I open that club face, it effectively gives me a little more bounce, okay? It creates a little more bounce. Now, to counteract that open club face, I have to let my stance open slightly. So I'm going to let my feet get aimed slightly to the left. Now, I don't want my shoulders to get as open as my feet. I want them to stay not perfectly square, but not as open as my feet. So stance is a little open, shoulders are more square. Then when I make this golf swing, I want to make sure when I finish the swing that the face of the club is still pointing at the sky. Notice the back of my left wrist is pointing at the sky. At no point in time in this golf swing do I want to release that club head or rotate my arms. Goodness gracious, I do not want my left wrist to bend. That's a complete disaster there. So, just like everything else that we talk about in the golf swing, this all relies on a good pivot, okay? Is my body turning properly? Because if my body doesn't turn properly, I'm going to have to use my arms and my hands, and then I'm going to stick the club in the ground. So the pivot here is just a nice, smooth, soft pivot. My arms move very softly as well, and just keep that face open. So let me see if I can hit one or two here. Okay, slightly open face, slightly open stance, nice soft pivot. Let the bounce go down through the grass. That was a good one right there. Had that been a real green, that one had a chance to go in. Okay, one more time. Slightly open stance, slightly open face, nice soft pivot, let the bounce do the work. Whew, that one got a great bounce. Two good ones in a row. Well, if you want to start hitting more solid, crisp pitch shots, you want to stop digging that club into the ground, hitting those chunky chip shots that don't go anywhere, then you need to go to work. You need to get yourself in practice, do it the way I said, and learn to use the bounce of your wedge. When you learn to use that bounce, your whole short game is going to change. I want to thank y'all for watching my video. I really do appreciate you coming in here a couple times a week and checking my channel out. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do. I come out with new content all the time. If you like this video and you think it's going to help your game, give me a thumbs up down there and drop me a comment. Man, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd like to hear if you've used this and if it's helped you out. Well, I look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. There's tons of content coming, so I'll see you next time. Thanks.